2009, I got into a really bad car accident. I had a brain injury.
Ooh.
Yeah, I had cerebral hemorrhaging. I got diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder, which was tough. I'm 18. You know, I was like on a high, and then I get into this accident.
To be so young.
Yeah, and you know, I would have headaches. I couldn't sleep at night. They put me on all of these meds. I would try to talk to my neurologist and like explain to him, you know, what was going on, but he didn't care. He just would prescribe me Xanax, other anti-anxiety meds, things that would help me sleep. But most mornings I would wake up feeling groggy. Like, you know, I didn't want to go to school. I was tired because these meds they had me on.
Side effects.
And so actually, so it's funny how the whole addiction study thing, my program in addiction studies ties into it because I had a drinking problem. At 18, I had a drinking problem. Yes,
Yeah. Yeah. Hey. Dear Mrs. Bill Collector, I know you're just doing your job, don't mean to disrespect you, but we've been going through this thing since way back. I told you when I get the dough, I would pay back, but I got problems, baby. Yeah, if you only knew, I got bigger problems, baby. Yeah.
So what's up, family? Welcome to Words, Wine, Into Purpose. I'm your host, Dejan Craddock, and I have a lovely guest by the name of Rai Hall. And Rai, why don't you tell the people about yourself?
So, my name is Rai. I am originally from Philly. I've been here for 5 years. It'll be 5 years in May. I moved here after I graduated from college. I actually moved here from Virginia.
Hold on, was that the one that moved you in for the first time?
No, that was my second apartment. My first apartment got broken into. That's another story. I have a Bachelor of Science in Psychology, and I completed a graduate certificate program in addiction studies at VCU School of Medicine. Currently, I am a developmental and behavioral therapist for children with autism. And I
Sounds important.
and I recently launched a business venture, cooking. I do meal preps, and I also plan to offer gourmet comfort food and do desserts. I love to bake. So that's just a little bit about me. I'm one of those people that I can't explain myself in one setting.
Well, I'll touch up on that. It's funny how I met Rai. She was one of my clients. And I remember when you said your place got broken into, it brought me back because you told me that. You was just like, hey.
And you were like, I'm putting you in the front.
Yeah, and I spoke to her mom, and her mom was just like, look, I'm leaving you in charge. If you put my baby in somewhere where she's gonna get, robbed, or her place is gonna get broke in, I'm coming for you. So
I lived there for 3 years.
Her mom threatened me. So she trusts me enough to be her leasing consultant. And that's when I was working in leasing, and we've been friends ever since. I've been keeping in contact with her, and I knew she had a background in psychology, and she knows a lot about mental health. So we'll be touching on that as we go. So,
sidebar, I just wanted to say I'm really proud of this guy. Like, he went from a leasing agent to doing the damn thing. You do too many things for me to keep up with.
I do a lot. Right, it's Women History Month. Who are some women out there that you draw some source of inspiration from?
I actually would have to say all of the women that I am associated with inspired me. Most people are inspired by celebrities and stuff like that, but I'm inspired by people who I can touch, see, feel, and have a complete understanding of who they are. There's no fabrication, or there's no story to be created to make them make their story pop. My mom is definitely somebody who absolutely inspires me. I've seen her go through hell, and I've seen her come out on top every time. My best friend is definitely somebody who inspires me. She's inspired me since college. Like she was like a 4.0 GPA student or something like that, and she like inspired me to want to do better. Like my goal,
that B student.
my goal ended up being to graduate with honors because I seen how well she did, and I ended up graduating with honors. Graduating college with honors. Right now she's in med school. She's a mom. Her mother passed away 2 years ago, and I believe it was her first year of med school, and she still pushed through. So like my best friend is somebody who truly inspires me. So my mom, my best friend, my closest friends, I can't name all of them, but my grandmother, my aunts, like I am surrounded by women who are strong, who are amazing, you know, who are just very inspirational. Like I'm very thankful for the women in my life, the women that I associate with, the women in my circle, like all of them are amazing.
That's awesome. So what's, let's say for example, if you're going through something or you're struggling with something, out of all the women you just mentioned, who's the person that you call?
My mom or my best friend. I talk to my mom every day. I talk to my best friend every day. Those are the two people I talk to.
I need to do better.
Every single day. I call my mom on my way to work. Like sometimes I call my mom and I'm running late for work and she's like, "You not at work yet?" Like my mom knows my schedule. Like I talk to my mom every day. That's my best friend. We're like freaking friends. Like if you see my mom, me and her
I got that from y'all when I first met her. So yeah, so they have a really, really good relationship.
We are like, I'm an only child. Yeah, let's make note of that. I'm an only child. So that's why me and my mom are like this. I'm also very tight with my dad too.
Okay, that's cool.
We ain't gonna get into daddy because it's women.
No, this woman history month. Dad gonna have to wait until Father's Day. So Ray, you have a bachelor's in psychology and you have a master's in psychology concentrating in addiction studies.
Actually, my it's pharmacology.
Pharmacology. Okay, my bad. So, what are some things that you came across when you were doing your research through your graduate program in regards to mental health?
You know, it's interesting. Throughout my journey in undergrad and grad school, I learned so much about myself from the things that I've learned and just in, you know, like the materials that they were giving us. So when I was 18, actually it would be 10 years this year, 2009, I got into a really bad car accident. I had a brain injury.
Ooh.
Yeah, I had cerebral hemorrhaging. I got diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder, which was tough. I'm 18, you know, I was like on a high, and then I get into this accident.
To be so young.
Yeah, and you know, I would have headaches. I couldn't sleep at night. They put me on all of these meds. I would try to talk to my neurologist and like explain to him, you know, what was going on, but he didn't care. He just would prescribe me Xanax, other anti-anxiety meds, things that would help me sleep. But most mornings I would wake up feeling groggy. Like, you know, I didn't want to go to school. I was tired because these meds they had me on.
Side effects.
And so actually, so it's funny how the whole addiction study thing, my program in addiction studies ties into it because I had a drinking problem. At 18, I had a drinking problem. Yes, I literally used to keep bottles.
What you were sipping on?
I used to keep
Don't
bottles.
tell me E&J.
No,
please
okay.
don't tell me E&J.
So this is how it really started.
Because you know, right when I started drinking, I was drinking a lot of E&J because that was the cheapest.
Smirnoff.
That was the cheapest thing I could
get.
Oh man, that's.
So my senior year of high school was one of my closest friends at the time, freshman year at Howard. And I lived in Northern Virginia, which is 30 minutes from DC. So I was at Howard every weekend. And like, it was natural for me to have been drinking as much as I was when I was out with my friends. But I realized when I wasn't drunk, I was very miserable. So when I would be home by myself, you know, not doing anything, like I used to hide bottles under my bed because I'm living in my mom's house. And I would like take...
Did your mom find the bottles?
No. Thank God.
What's the most amount of bottles you had?
I mean, it wasn't like I was like drinking a crazy amount, but I would chug like alcohol and take the anti-anxiety meds or whatever it was that I was prescribed. And
I did not know that.
Yeah, and so a lot of people don't know that. And so for years after that, like, I mean, I had stopped drinking, you know, like I had been drinking because I started going to counseling. My mom was the one like, okay, you know, I see too many changes in your personality. You're not doing your hair. You're not getting dressed. You don't want to get up in the morning. Like, you're going to counseling. And that's what really helped me. Like, I got off all the meds that they put me on. I was, you know, because I hated being on that stuff. Like, I literally don't know how people recreationally take Xanax. I hated.
Well,
Xanax.
you were young, and this is a doctor, so this person is professionally trained,
Exactly.
so you're gonna listen to them, of course.
Exactly.
But of course, as you got older, and you realize that those meds ain't worth a damn.
Exactly. And so that pattern turned into me pretty much like it was my coping mechanism. Like, I would literally like abuse alcohol, and once I got older, it turned into me smoking hella weed. Like, my grandpa died actually when I moved into that apartment. My grandpa had died right a few weeks before my apartment got broken into, and when I tell you I was smoking like a chimney, you know, it helped me. It helped me with my anxiety too. But then I ended up realizing while I was in my graduate program, every time I smoked weed, I would get super anxious. Like, it would heighten my anxiety. And so that's how I got into consistently working out. Like, just working out, and that's been the best thing to help me with my anxiety and my depression.
Yeah, I noticed that you post a lot on Instagram, even though it's not working right now. You know, side note, Instagram is shut down right now, and I'm mad. I just realized how much I like Instagram, and I use Instagram because I can't use it right now. So I have 5 Instagram accounts.
The world is ending.
Don't ask me why. But hey, why were we talking about that? Instagram. But yeah, but I didn't know that. That's crazy.
You know, a lot of people don't know that, and that's the interesting thing about life is that, you know, you don't broadcast everything it is that you go through, so everybody thinks that everything is. But
from face value, I wouldn't get that from you.
Exactly. I literally one time I remember I posted a tweet about, you know, me dealing with anxiety and depression, and one of my friends was like, "Girl, you don't know what anxiety and depression is," and I was just like, I was like, I clearly never told you that I like suffered from a brain injury at one point in my life, and you know, people don't realize how traumatizing mentally and emotionally brain injuries are. Like, I had a brain injury. Like, I didn't just, thank God I walked away from the accident, no broken bones, nothing. My mouth actually got ripped open, you can't tell. This side of my mouth was ripped open, a plastic
This happened
surgery.
when you was like 17?
18. It was right after my 18th birthday. My birthday is September 29th. It happened on October 9th, I believe. I can't even remember the date anymore. But it was 2 weeks after my 18th birthday.
Gotcha. So you said you received counseling.
I did.
So what was the best part of counseling?
You know, having somebody that I felt like understood me, because I literally did open up about some of the things that I was suffering with to people, and people just was like, "Oh, you're okay." Like, it's interesting how like the stigmatization of mental health, like people think that you literally have to be laying down dying for there to be something wrong with you, when it's just kind of like, no, some people are strong. Like, I'm a very strong person. Like, and one of my friends said to me one day, and at first I didn't take it well, but then I understood where she was coming from. I told her something I was going through, and she just was like, "You're strong." Like, she was like, "I hate to say this, but like, you're a very strong person, so I know you're gonna get through it." But being strong is tiring.
Oh, it's tough.
It is tough. It's tiring. You know, it's exhausting. But I recommend to anybody. Like, I don't feel like you have to be going through something traumatic or, you know, it'd be the end of the world for you to go to counseling. Like, it really helped me a lot. I did it my senior year, then my junior and senior year of college. I started my senior year of high school. My junior and senior year of college, I had to fight to get counseling services at my school. Like, I was at a really low place, and I realized, okay, I need to go back to counseling. And I did, and it really helped me. And unfortunately, since I've moved here, I haven't gone to counseling, but I've learned enough along the way to get myself through. Like, and I'm very self-aware, so I know, like, okay, I'm, you know, smoking this blunt or whatever because like I'm super stressed out. Like that would be like my go-to. But you know, now, but I knew, like, you know, like I knew that that's what I was doing and that was why I was doing it. But now it's just kind of like, okay, Ray, what's your other coping mechanism besides having a glass of wine or rolling up a blunt? Or, you know,
this is
like,
me all day.
well, I still drink recreationally. Not that much now that I work out. Alcohol makes you have a belly, just in case y'all didn't know.
This is true. So I'm curious to know that when you receive counseling, well, before you receive counseling, did you have an interest in psychology, or or receiving counseling is what sparked the interest?
So, okay, so interestingly enough, this ties to a whole another story. When I was in high school, I was a fashion design student. They had an academy at my school where you literally had to apply. It was like damn near
what grade
college
level was
program.
this?
My junior year and my senior year. My junior year,
High
I got
school?
accepted. Yep.
Okay.
Of high school.
Wow.
My junior year, I got accepted into fashion design 1 at a completely different school. I would leave my school and go to another school to take this class.
Okay.
My senior year, I was back in it, and after my accident, I pretty much got kicked out of the program because you know, they were pretty much like, you're going to miss out on a lot.
Yeah, it's a very strict program, and they need you for certain days.
So that was devastating for me. Like when I tell you devastating, I was heartbroken because I've always been very artistic, very creative, and you know, not being able to pursue that program anymore like broke my heart. But when I started at the school, I said to myself, I want to direct the school fashion show one day. But me being in the fashion design program, I couldn't be in a fashion marketing class. So me getting kicked out, I ended up going into the fashion marketing class. I became the fashion show director. And what's crazy is, this was 2 weeks after my accident. I still had stitches in my mouth when I presented. And I won. And so during that time, I took a psychology class and I loved it. It made me realize that why I was going through everything that I was going through after my accident. To me, it wasn't making sense. Like, and to everybody else, it was, okay, you're home now, you know, you fine.
Yeah,
you don't have no broken bones. And so my senior year, I kept saying to my mom, I want to go to college for psychology. And she was like, no, you love fashion design. Like, you know, that's what you love. That's what you should stick to. And that's what I went to school for my first year. I went to school for merchandising and marketing. Hated it.
Well, yeah.
I kept saying, I'm going to minor in psychology. And so I ended up leaving the first school I went to, transferred to another school, VCU, which I was supposed to, they're like the #1 art school. But when I was supposed to be going there for their fashion program, but I just stuck to psychology. It's what I love. Like, it's helped me understand myself better. It's helped me understand people better. Like, I don't get mad at people anymore. Like, certain stuff people do, you realize.
Don't let it phase you.
Yeah, like certain stuff people do, you realize, okay, this is stemming from your childhood, or this is stemming from this experience that you had. And like,
you be Dr. Feeling people. they'll say something to you. Is this coming from your childhood?
I'll never forget, I went on a date with this guy. He was like telling me about his relationship with his mom.
Oh, Dr. Phil, no.
And I was like, oh, okay, so you know, your relationship with your mother growing up is why.
Man, not on the first date, man. You couldn't save the date. We gonna get to that conversation. We gonna get to that question soon. Stay tuned. We'll get to that question soon. So let's. I mean, we already started talking about mental health. You know, I did have a mental health question, but I'm gonna push that to the side since we already started talking about that. But I follow her, Ray, on Instagram, and she works out a lot. And you're always meal prepping. So, do you enjoy meal prepping? Like, I want, cause you be with the camera, with the angles. You be like, you be hooking it up.
So interestingly enough. Okay, so my brand is called Allure Appetit.
Okay, so this is the new venture that you're going to be starting.
It's called Allure Appetit.
Okay.
When I originally started, my idea was I want to do a pop-up kitchen, and the concept will be gourmet comfort food.
I'm going to try this concoction.
But I have been saying, like, you know, I want to do meal preps too because I eat pretty healthy. And, you know, people are always like, it's hard to eat healthy because it doesn't taste good or you're eating the same thing. And I ended up reconnecting with one of my friends, and he was saying, like, you know, I need somebody to do my meal prep. And I was like, I'll do it. and I had never even,
You've never meal prepped before.
not for anybody else. And so he's just like, oh, how much you gonna charge you? I'm like, oh, I'll get back to you. Like, And so that's how it ended up coming.
This is a good combination.
That's how it ended up coming into play. Was somebody literally was mentioning how they needed somebody to do their meal preps. They didn't even know that I could cook, and I just was like, oh, I'll do them. And then from there, the ball started rolling. Because just like you seeing the stuff that I was posting, people would see and be like, can you do my meal preps too?
Mm-hmm.
And so, but it's crazy because that's not what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
But I enjoy it because I'm always trying to create new dishes every week.
So I think that's cool because it's just like you have an interest in fashion.
Exactly.
So with food,
and I love to cook. So.
Yeah. So food is almost it's art in some type of sense. Just the colors of the greens and the meat and the rice and
my plates are always
her plates is always, and you found a way how to implement your artistic side along with something that aligns with mental health, because what you eat helps with your mental health. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I mean, I love what I do. Like, I love making a difference in the lives of others. Like, so my full-time job, I get to do that every day. But I'm also a very creative and artistic person, so I was like, I had to find an outlet. I had to find an outlet, and I found my outlet, and I'm able to monetize off of it.
That's cool. You thought I'm making money now. and say the name of the entity again that you started.
Allure Appetite.
And when will this be up and running?
So I created a business page in January.
Okay.
And I never told anybody about it.
Instagram website?
Instagram, yeah. I never told anybody about it. I never released it. I'm a perfectionist. And so I didn't want to be one of those Instagram chefs. Because I'm not a chef. I will say that. I'm not a chef. I just like to cook. I enjoy cooking.
Like to cook, yeah.
But I'm officially launching it this month.
Okay, cool.
I told myself to stop being stagnant.
Let me say this, because I am a perfectionist, and I did a lot of research before starting Words, Wine, and the Purpose, and I wanted things to go a certain way, and I had to be real with myself. Just start.
Exactly.
Just start.
That's literally where I'm
figure it out.
And
that's what I'm doing. I'm figuring this out as I go, and you're doing the same thing now.
Exactly.
You're stopping yourself. You're getting out your own way.
Exactly. Because you inspired me today, because before we talk about this, I asked him what inspired him to do it, and that's true. You got to get out your I've literally been in my own way.
Yeah.
And so now I'm just like, Ray, you could cook. Just do it. I
think that's a part of being in your comfort zone. You feel comfortable. The fact that everything is going your way.
Exactly.
But realistically in life, everything is not going to go your way.
Not.
So you can't expect the same thing from a business you want to open. And that's the conversation I had to have with myself, because I know this is not going to be perfect. It's just going to get better the more I do it. And I'm going to learn the ins and outs, and so will you. So that's cool, man. You definitely send me that page so I can go ahead and follow it. And I'll make sure, when you said next month?
This month.
This month?
This month.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll make sure to drop the name here on the screen and in the graphics. I'm getting good with the edits and whatnot. You feel me? Putting in that work. But
if you're in South Florida, definitely hit me up for your meal prep needs, and I will be doing limited plates. So that's my next thing, is selling comfort food, because everybody doesn't want meal preps, but I make some bomb mac and cheese.
Well, you know what you should do. You should hit your aunt up, your aunt that does the wine events, and do something with food. Tie the wine events with with the food. So.
Yeah, I've considered doing that. I'm just trying to, I want to do, like you said, I really want to do my research. I do want to jump in and do it, but
I'm just saying that's an idea.
Right.
That's an idea you can notate. But just, since I mentioned your aunt, just talk about what your aunt does in terms of, because I love wine. And I just love the fact that her aunt does something with wine.
So my aunt is actually the reason I moved here. She lived here first, and I would come visit her, and I would see Miami outside of South Beach.
Okay.
And so hanging out with her, I was like, I can live here. We're both from Philly. My aunt came here, moved here, and made a way for herself, and has been doing great. My aunt is I always say it wrong. I hope I say it right. A sommelier. She's like a wine expert.
I
And
love wine.
she is amazing at it. Like, she could tell you the ins and outs of wine. She can tell you how to pair it with the next thing. She
I
actually
need to get your where's wine in the
Yeah,
purpose?
she
I
do.
might just need
She
to.
actually started a brand. It's called Sipping Socialite. So it's about bringing wine and social, I guess, events and socializing together. She's in Atlanta now, which I feel like is a great market for her.
It absolutely
Yeah,
is.
because, you know, black people, sophisticated black people, and she's been doing really well there.
That's good. Let me say this. I went to Ray invited me to one of her aunt's events, and I attended. And they had a reggae live band, and they served free wine all night long.
It was amazing.
It was absolutely amazing. I enjoyed myself.
Glad you did.
So I brought one of my friends with me, and she was just like, "Yo, this is awesome!" And it was outdoors. So
It's at Wynwood Yard.
yes, it was in Wynwood.
Before it got popular.
Yeah. So I could see that expanding in Atlanta dramatically. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So since we mentioned dating a little bit earlier, let's talk about dating. Ray, she is located in South Florida. So it's funny. I did some research the other day. And they say that dating in South Florida is different from everywhere else. And they mentioned a couple of things, but one thing that stuck out to me is that the person that you're probably that you may come across that you actually like doesn't live here. They're leaving on Sunday. That's what it said. You may meet someone in Miami and you may click with them, the chemistry might be off the chain, and they don't actually live here. Another thing that I came across was that from a woman's dating point of view is that he might be living with his grandma or his mom in South Florida. And I'm like, wow, like, man.
I've never met any of those people.
Well, good. That's good for you. And I can't remember a few, but I'll go ahead and tag.
I'm gonna pour some more wine.
I'm gonna go ahead and put the link of that article I read. It was an interesting read. I actually posted on my Facebook page, but it was funny. But I think the dating scene here is very different from anywhere else. So my question to Ray is what is your dating experience here in South Florida?
I feel like I'm like one of the most interesting people to ask how dating here.
Why you say that? You need to explain that.
I've gone on over 50 first dates since I've lived here.
Over 50. Wait, hold on.
I know, I just blew
I just spit. I think the spit flew over there by accident.
I've gone on at least. I've been here 5 years. I've averaged at least 50 first dates since I've been here.
Wow. Not so. Did any of these? Well,
I'm gonna say I like maybe out of the 50 guys, out of like 50 first dates, I would say I've gone on a second date with maybe like 3 or 4.
Out of 50?
So let's get into dating here. So dating here is
gotta open up a lid.
right. Make sure you don't cut none of this.
Make sure you get your glass. Make sure you pour yourself a glass of wine.
So,
just sit up and listen to this.
Living here, dating is definitely fun because there's so many great restaurants here.
This is true.
And you know, you meet, at least in my experience, I've met a lot of guys who, you know, are into fine dining like I'm into fine dining. Like, ladies, you may or may not be like me, but you're not taking me to Fridays on no first date.
So what kind of guys, what's your standard? What's your standard?
My standard is,
let's paint that picture.
all right, you have to have a decent job.
Okay.
You have to have your own place.
Okay.
I prefer not to date men with children.
Okay.
That's my preference. Those are like my top 3.
Depending on how good of a guy he is, you may.
I mean,
like,
if I see that your character, like you're a really good guy, and I'm gonna like if you do tell me you have kids, I'm going to ask you what your relationship with your children is like.
Mm-hmm.
And if I feel like I don't feel like you're a great dad, then
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to be interested. Like I literally don't know how women date men that have children that aren't involved in their children's lives.
That's fair.
Whether the mom lets you see the kid or not, you could go to court.
Mm-hmm.
And get
you can fight, yeah, you can fight for
visitation,
it,
right? So for me, it's like there's no excuse as to why, you shouldn't have a great relationship with your children.
Okay, so decent job, needs to
Own place.
Own place.
Preferably
Okay.
no children.
Preferably no children. Anything else?
Well spoken. I cannot date. Like I can't deal with a dude who just ignorant. Like
You gotta put the glass down. Alright, let's sit right there for a little bit. Give me an experience you had with someone that was not well spoken and it just completely shut you down.
I went on a date with this guy before.
Was this recent? What was
No,
this?
this was years ago. But he was so hood. Like when I didn't realize he was that hood until like we got there.
How y'all met? Like
How did we meet? I think we like met in passing, and he had to take me out, and I just like okay, cool, like
Yeah.
not really doing like any, and that's how most. Okay, so I will say this: that's how most of my first dates start. Like
you need to
I'm
stop.
not one of
If
those.
that's not it,
I
right,
had
you
to
need to
stop. I had to stop.
You've been on 50
But
first dates.
I'm one of those women.
That's the name of a movie.
I'm a woman where it's just like. I feel
That's
like
my
men
favorite
know,
movie, by the way.
I'm not about to what you doing this girl all day
Mhm.
or being like when we gonna chill. Like men know when they meet me, I have to take this girl on a date if I, want to show my
Serious.
interest in her
Yeah.
because she's not about to just be chilling with me. I'm not chill with your mom.
Mm-hmm.
Your mom wants to chill with you.
Chill with
I
your mom.
don't.
You should put that on a t-shirt.
Chill with your mom. And so, what did he do? Oh, he was like picking at the plate with his hands, like eating. He had pasta. He was like picking off the plate with his hands.
I can understand if it's some fried chicken, but pasta.
He was so ghetto. I was just like,
So how did this date end? Did you was just
I
like
never talked to him again.
so you went through with the whole date?
So I will say that I am terrible. I am a ghoster. I won't even tell you I'm not interested. I would literally never talk to you again.
Huh. Has there been a time where you just got up and just like, yo, I gotta go?
No.
Okay, at least you had the decency.
Yeah,
to
like
do that.
I sometimes I do try to like sit it out. Like, okay, so one of my worst dates in South Florida was I was walking on Ocean. I met this guy. He was like, oh, let's go to dinner tomorrow. And I was like, okay, cool, whatever. He was from out of town. He lived in Tampa.
He's out of town. See, Sunday he gone. On Sunday he gone. I told you.
And he was like, let's go to dinner. At first he's like, oh, meet me at my hotel. And I'm like, no. I had left, ironically, I left my ID and everything in South Beach. So I was like, let's just meet in South Beach because I have to go there to get like my ID and stuff.
Mhm.
So he's like, oh, where do you want to go to eat? And I was like, I really don't care. He chooses Prime 112. I didn't choose Prime 112.
He got money.
And so we go there, date goes well, besides him like touching my leg a lot, like don't touch me. I don't know you like that.
Yeah.
Don't touch me. And so once the date was over, I realized I never want to see this guy again. But I didn't want him to feel like I used him, like I was
Yeah.
trying to free meal him. Like
What
I'm
was
not
your-
a free meal.
What you got off that menu at Prime 112?
Oh, I'm not a cheap date. I'm not a cheap date. Everybody be having these $200 date arguments. I feel like $200 is a good number to spend on a first
Hey, that's
date.
your standard.
That's my
And
standard.
the thing is, if you let people know what your standard is,
Exactly.
they need to come
Exactly.
correct. I have no problem with that. So
For me, it's really not about putting a number on a date. Like some
Yeah.
people think that like it doesn't have to be a $200 minimum or we have to go to a certain place. I will say I can cook,
yeah.
so I'm not eating at certain places because their food is nasty.
Question about that. What if a guy says, "Hey, I want to cook for you"?
No. No. If we have mutual friends, yes.
Okay, maybe if you
But if
convert-
I don't know you, if I met you
Yeah.
out in public and I've never hung out with you before, I don't feel safe being in your house.
Gotcha.
So, you know, like, no. If you want to cook for me on the second date, if you make it to the second date, I'm more than open to it.
Has anybody made it to a third date?
I've gone on multiple dates with some guys.
Has any guy made it almost to the relationship? Or was there a relationship? Damn. Yeah, really think about it.
There was one guy here that I felt like I was like seriously dating.
What happened?
His ex-girlfriend found out about me and was
She
like
just started
on a
she was on a
journey to get back.
she had an agenda.
And I just was like, okay.
Yeah, you didn't want that. You didn't want to deal with that.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Ever since then, I've not really been like super interested in anybody, and that was a few years ago. I'm not gonna lie. I've been a serial dater for the past few years. I stopped because I realized I was wasting a lot of my time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dates require time, and
It requires time and energy.
And right now, I'm just focused on me. Like, this year, I can say, well, at least for like the past like 5 or 6 months, like I haven't had any anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
I've been very happy. Like, I've been very content. Like, life still happens. Like, that's one thing about life.
Mm-hmm.
Life gonna happen. You could be here at your peak, and then somebody close to you dies, or something drastic happens.
Yeah.
Life happens to everybody.
It does.
It's all about how you
react.
how you cope with it, how you deal with it.
That's one of my favorite quote. Life is 10% what happens to you, 90% how you respond
Yeah, like
to
I
it.
always tell people.
So that's one of my favorite quotes.
Life happens to you no matter where you live. Everybody thinks, oh, you live in Miami, so you get to go to live, and you get to go here, you go on yachts, and you go
Let me be real. Let me look at the camera and tell people who live down here don't go to live. It's these damn tourists.
I go to live.
So Ray, thank you for that. That was very, very entertaining.
I always tell people I'm a very entertaining person.
She is. I've known her for quite some time, and she's very, very entertaining. There's never a dull moment when I'm hanging with this friend of mine here. So do you have anything else you want to say before I go ahead and close the show out?
Being as though it's International Women's, wait, no.
It's Women's History.
Women's History Month.
Mm-hmm.
I want to tell all women that we all go through things. You are going to be faced with many hardships, many battles, things that make you want to give up. Keep going. If nobody's rooting for you, even if I don't know you, if you've never spoke to me a day in your life, I'm rooting for you.
Okay.
Yeah, like, women, we're power. Like, and don't ever let anybody tell you anything less. We are powerful. We are power. We're more than just powerful. We are power. And get shit done. Whatever dream it is that you have, whatever goal it is that you have, you're trying to finish your degree, if you're trying to start a new business, you're trying to get promoted at your job.
Get that shit done. I like
you're trying to become the best version of you. Get that shit done. Like, that's where I'm at right now. I'm becoming the best version of myself. Like, of course I want to be the best version of myself in work and whatever it is right now, but I'm completely focused on myself right now. What it is that I enjoy doing, what it is that makes me happy, what it is that keeps me going on a day-to-day. Like, don't worry about tomorrow or the day in advance. Definitely make goals, but focus on today. What's going to get you through today? And then when you get to tomorrow, what's going to get you through tomorrow? That's for men too.
Okay, that's universal. And I would like to just add this and just add on to that. In the great words of our modern day philosophers, city girls, period. Put a period on that.
Real ass bitch.
Thank you for watching Words Wind into Purpose. If you like what you saw, go ahead and hit the like button and go ahead and hit the subscribe button. More content is coming soon. Stay tuned, I promise. Thank you for tuning in.
Have
a good one.
Man.